We are live with Yellow Tuxedo. Live. Sorry, go on.
We haven't done a live, you and me together, forever.
No, I know. That's really interesting because let me just click about. We're using StreamYard, but I have to say this because we're getting, we want to carry on with the multi-streaming, the simulcasting.
Alan's got the bug.
I have got the bug. And it's really important that we do this, but we'll come back to that. But also what's really important is the fact that Emily just said we haven't done this together that much recently. No. And that's just to do with life and time. You know, we've got the kids and the business, and sometimes people just jump on live. Someone watched and then disappeared.
And actually, quite interesting because today's post on our social media was about being different and working on your USP. And from a very early stage, our USP was the fact that we worked together.
Yes.
Yet for the last couple of months, we've been very separate. So I think it's about remembering what your USP is sometimes and coming back to it and not forgetting why you do it the way you do it.
Yeah. So let's cut to the chase, actually. So what we want to talk about, we're only going to be here for about 10 minutes, is to be different, you need to be different. And where this has come from is we've had a few clients in the past week or two talking about, you know, what's their USP, how do they appeal to the client, and a lot of this comes from content, you know, that kind of fear about generating content, or not the fear, the kind of the blockers on what do we talk about, what do we do, how do we get going, what do we do, and somewhere in that list of things is that whole what's my USP, isn't there?
Yeah.
And you know, we were talking, and we thought we'd share our little tuppence worth of what it's worth.
And that's exactly right. We've done this with a lot of power hours over the last couple of weeks, and actually it's been the same things that have come into play every single time. Hi Nisha, hope you're well. Yeah. In terms of overcomplicating what a USP has to be, and actually, can I just interrupt? Nisha, who's watching via YouTube, is absolutely the Don, or the female equivalent of the Don, if there is one, of just being herself, and that's her USP. She absolutely is an epitome of that. It is nailing that, and what a USP is not being over wish and well and going, but what is my product? What is my service? How am I making that completely unique?
Yeah, is my product pink? Is that the USP?
Because quite simply, you are your unique business, and no one can ever replicate that. You may have the same product or service as the person next to you, but they don't deliver it in the way that you will deliver it ever, and that cannot be replicated. So we all know we have a USP. This is something I said on Instagram live a few minutes ago. We all know we are different, and we all want to stand out. So why is it, my friends, that we go down that rabbit warren of going the comparisonitis kind of thing, of comparing ourselves on social media to see what other people are doing on social media and seeing that this is how they frame this and do that, so maybe I should do more of that to get more engagement, when actually all you're doing by doing that is becoming a cookie cutter company about the same person. And this is like we've been exploring with our members all of this week. It's been such a fascinating conversation.
It has, and I wrote this in the description, and I had a couple of other things in my head on this whole to be different. You need to be different. You need to be yourself. And I first heard this. How old's Lydia Rose? 7 years ago, I think. So I first heard this way of thinking about it about 7 years ago. And a photographer we know, I think's coach told them this, and they were telling us, and I loved it. And okay, there's 7 billion people in the world, right?
The hands are out.
I know. There's 7 billion people in the world, right? And you're not trying to convert all 7 billion people into clients, okay? You're trying to find the 20, 30,000, you know, possibly 2,000 if you're selling a product. You're trying to find the 20, 32,000 few more who like you, basically. And so by putting yourself out there as wide as possible, those people find you and gravitate towards you, not in a kind of universe way, but in a kind of, oh right, they seem nice enough. In the same way that some people think that we're loudmouth, other people quite like what we have to say.
What you mean.
No, I know. Don't go on. Don't know. Move on. And it's really important, because therefore, if you be yourself, A, you're being authentic, B, you're being yourself, C, it makes then life easier, and because you're not trying to be anything else you're not, and you'll be able to sustain being who you are, because you've been who you are for most of your life. And then the clients and the customers start to, they're appealed by you. That even makes sense.
They're attracted to
you. I know. I was trying not to go down the universe route. This is black and white stuff. This is not kind of, nothing wrong with all that. We believe in some of that, but this is black and white. If you're looking for the people who like you. So that's why you spread your net as wide as possible. Sorry, I'm getting excited.
We take it back to the social media thing and cookie cutter posting and following the trends of what everyone does.
See my grey hair?
I have done.
No, I know, it's bad, isn't it?
It's even worse.
I know.
And we jump on the trends of certain social media coaches who set challenges. Nothing wrong with challenges, especially if you need a bit of a kick up the bum to actually do some posting. But if you're told on a Monday to do a picture of your breakfast, and on a Tuesday to do a picture of your office, and everyone is doing the same, all you are ever going to achieve is the fact that you're going to have a grid that looks, or a Facebook grid or anything like that looks like the next person to the side of you who's done exactly the same thing. So I would always encourage you, yes, when we start our businesses, to work on that, competitor analysis to see where your benchmark is, but it's so unhealthy to keep looking at what they're doing.
Insert favorite quote from Steve Jobs.
Feel free.
Steve Jobs, when asked about market research for the invention of the computer in 1978, 9, whatever, he said, no, I didn't do any market research. And they went, huh? And he said, if I'd done market research at that time, all people would have asked for is a pen or pencil that lasted longer. So just bear that in mind with what you do, okay?
In terms of, there's a child coming up.
There's a child coming.
In terms of how you start, even if you don't think you have a USP at this point, which you do, and it's in your head on lock. Hi, Joseph. You come and say hello.
He needs a wee.
Off you go.
I'll take him for a wee.
You want TV?
Oh, TV. You keep talking. I went down to sort the TV out with James. Come on, buddy.
Part of our USP, guys, is the fact that we're a family-based business, and this happens in real life, and we don't shy away from it. I don't think it's unprofessional, the fact that Joseph, our 3-year-old who lives downstairs, especially in a time where there's lockdown, shows up on our videos. And actually, we've embraced it. So we're happy with that and comfortable. And it's about, this is exactly it. Whatever you're happy and comfortable and believe in should be what's normal for you in your business, and no one can tell you otherwise. Laurie has just put, exactly, stick to your true brand. There are plenty of customers out there for everyone. Some people are like Mary Poppins, me, I've been told. Some people don't. Absolutely.
It's so true.
It's so true.
I know it is.
But in terms of finding out what your USP is, or at least showing up to be different in the way that you want to show up, there are a couple of things that I've, again, mentioned on our recent Instagram live. In terms of what you don't subscribe to, what you don't want to show up for, what you don't believe in, and what you will never, ever, ever, again, we fall into that trap. We end up falling into what we don't believe in because we are copying everyone else. What do you not subscribe to? As we've said, we are a husband and wife team. We are family-based business. We are never going to be a faceless brand. We are front and center with that. We do not want to be a faceless agency. We don't want people to. We
discussed it, didn't we? Interestingly, when we started, we wanted to be a faceless agency, and then we went, no, this doesn't meet our ego requirements.
I've always gone down the line, and Alan has to listen to me moan about. I don't particularly like the fempreneur kind of angles of things, and going down that kind of men versus women in terms of business, and we're all subscribing to whatever that client is. We're a husband and wife team. We believe in equality and the fact that we can both empower each other, and businesses don't have to worry about what gender is doing well in the industry at the moment. So that's something we will never do. Sorry, I nudged you.
Well, my OCD didn't like the fact that you were too far in, so I was trying to push you over.
And we will never, there in terms of what we don't ever want to see on our grid, we don't want to have really, really, really shiny flat lay type posts and all that.
Well, no, that's not true, because we've used them and we have
them. Particularly. We have fallen down the trap as well. Well, interestingly,
when we started, if you scroll to the bottom of the Yellow Tuxedo on Instagram, we'd have recently had a brand shoot with Amy Robertson, the woman in the wolf. I love her. And we love these photos. We still do love them. There's no issue with the photos. And we'd put all these photos up of us wearing yellow, and then realised, where's the real people, didn't we? And then actually we stopped and we carried on putting real people.
Especially in the type of business that we have created. So the whole point of our business is to help small businesses understand that they have the power and ability to show up online, and the importance of just getting started. You can upskill and up-level yourself as you move along, but there's
open that door, as Trevor Young says.
Open the doors, as Trevor does say. He's a very wise man. So if we were to start taking really shiny, really, really polished videos and putting that all over our social media, that puts us as a point of difference to the clients that we're trying to attract. So we always make sure that everything we put is quite
our ideal client. Emily Braithwaite.
So yeah, on one side, put everything that you don't want to show up for, everything that you will not, the non-negotiables of, I do not want anyone to think of this about my business if they were to see media. On the other side of that is what you do really well. And again, something I referred to as the other video, in Ben Drury, the culture guy, we spent some amazing time with him working on our own culture and values. And the thing with culture and your brand culture is that that's the internal mechanism of how you run your business. You know what that feels like within your team or within your, if you're a solopreneur, you know how you interact with your clients. You know about those special touches. Do you write handwritten notes for your clients when you're putting products in the post?
Client experience. Ricky Locke's a big fan of the whole client experience, isn't
all
it?
of that. What do you do internally with your business? How does the mechanics of your business run? You know that. You know what you do exceptionally well. You know what things you're putting in place, whether it's environmentally or in terms of your product or what you believe in. You have that nailed. Why is that not put front and center in your social media? It's all very well doing it here, but your potential new clients and your audience should really hear that and showcase that too, don't you think?
Yes, you were well on preach mode.
I was a little bit preachy.
Right. Okay. So we're going to wrap up here. Very important, because these ad hoc lives, I feel, should never be too long. Right, that's my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts, because that comes down to alienating people watching on replay. That's all. Not saying it's right or wrong. It's just our thoughts. However, we're going to finish on. I'm going to subtly launch the. So for those who have followed us on Instagram, well, I can't mention it.
Is this what you did on your whiteboard this morning that you've now passed as something we're doing and moving forward?
Yes, you know we're doing it,
and now we're launching it now.
Why don't I ask the question?
Yeah,
100% of people on Instagram stories said it was a good idea.
2.
No, 5. Right. Right. We are discussing a weekly live. Look, this is as far as it goes. We don't know. Clinic, cheerleading, answering questions, online presence reviews, hijack alert. It's something like that. But we want to kind of. We quite like the show format. Let's be brutally honest. We like the Yellow Magic Hour. We like doing this sort of stuff, and we want a way of just trying to add as much value as possible. And we've seen other brands do this across the world, and we think we could bring something to that space. But people literally ask questions, like Laurie not asking the questions, and we can answer that question, and in real time, and just kind of people can fire questions about everything we cover there. So that's the thoughts. We'd love to know what you think about that. He
literally did that on a whiteboard this morning and has now launched it today. That's the benefit of a small business, right?
No, it is. Now, usually we wouldn't do it that quick, but I'm pretty confident we're going to go with it. That's why. So sometimes, but if it doesn't matter if we don't.
I'd better start doing some work.
Yes. Well, what, just full stop? Or specifically about that project? Thank you for those who have tuned in. Thanks for those watching. If you watch this to the end on replay, leave a little hashtag replay. We love that. And tell us, let
us know what your USP is.
I was going to say the same thing. And when you answer that question, if it's anything other than me, then make sure you include me as well in the answer. All right.
Bye.
Stay safe. Merry Christmas.